Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In the summer of last year, I did a review video on a kind of like a floodlight, a solar floodlight that was going to shine over my solar panels for a little bit of security and to be able to light up that area at night if need be. Another company sent me another solar powered floodlight, and I'm thinking about replacing the one I have out there currently with this one, but I'm not really sure. But let's go ahead and do an unboxing and see what this one's all about. Alright, what we have here is an outdoor floodlight that's solar powered, and it is from Zalap, ZALAP.com. I haven't opened it yet, and but it does say that it has, I think, 330 individual LEDs on 4 separate panels, and it says it can give up to 3,000 lumens. So I mean, that's pretty bright. So let's go ahead and open it up and kind of see what's inside. Okay. All right. What we have is, oh, look at that. We have a remote control. Looks pretty simple. Has on, off. Looks like it's a infrared remote. And it says mode 1, 2, and 3. And that is all there is. And then it has a little pull tab to activate the battery. So it should be ready to go. Okay. This looks like a mounting bracket. So we're going to be using this to mount it. And then here is the light itself. And then a very simple instruction manual. And it looks like the manual is only in English. So we'll be using that also. But it's weird that it opens it. You would think that this is the front, but it kind of opens backwards. So whatever. But it's nice to have. And then it looks like we have the screws and pretty much all the mounting equipment that we need. All the screws, anchors, stuff like that. Okay, so let's open this. Let's see, get this out of this bubble wrap. All right. It looks like we have 4 panels. 4 panels that move individually. Looks like it goes like this. The solar panel also moves. So that's pretty nice. I mean, each one of these is independent. Yeah, they can move up, down, and forward and backward. Each one of them. So you can adjust this. You can adjust this to, to light up really any area once you have it mounted to where you want. I would say that the solar panel is flexible also, but it's really not, because it looks like this mounting bracket is going to go right in here. So it's going to mount. So it's going to mount like this. You're going to put this right in here. The only thing that's going to be holding it on your wall is gravity. Once you put it on this mount, the only thing that's going to be holding it up there is gravity. The light itself is not going to be fixed to the wall, only the mount. So, but it'll go in like that, and then you will adjust your light underneath however you want. But this is going to be fixed in this angle. So it looks like it's probably a 45 or 50 degree angle, something like that. Let's see. Also, there's a switch right here that says off 1, 2, and 3, and it's covered by this little piece of rubber right here, which is for it's for waterproofing. So you don't want to try to tear this off, because you can turn it. You can flip the switch from inside the rubber. So you don't want to tear this off. Okay, so a little bit more information about this light. The solar panel produces 1.5 watts. The battery inside is rated at 3.7 volts at 2400 milliamps. And it looks like there is a total of 333 individual LEDs on this light. which is rated for 3,000 lumens. The rated power of this is 8 watts. The weight of this light is 421 grams. And it does have a waterproof rating of IP65. And when it comes to mounting it, they recommend that you mount it in a height between 5 feet 9 inches and 7 feet 2 inches, which is between 1.8 meters and 2.2 meters. Now, to me, that seems a little low. The place I want to mount it is going to be probably 9 feet. Well, we'll see if it still works if we're mounting it above the recommended height. It does have a motion sensor right here, which will it will only turn on if there's motion, and it will not turn on during the day. Okay, and yeah, I just realized something, that this is only this is only a motion sensor. It's when there is no power to the solar panels, when the solar panels don't detect any light at all, I believe is when the lights actually turn on. So if you cover the solar panel, there, see, then it turns on. And why don't we go ahead and talk about the modes. All right, mode 1. Okay, first of all, on this, there's a switch back here, and there's 4 positions on the switch. There's either off, mode 1, mode 2, or mode 3. Let's go ahead and switch into mode 1. It's kind of hard because of this, it has an IP65 waterproof rating, so they need to cover this little switch. But it is kind of, you can't see what mode you're in at all. It just looks like a piece of rubber. So, but it is kind of one of those things where you'll probably set it and forget it. In mode 1, it will stay off until it senses motion at night. During the day, it will never turn on in any mode. But at night, when it senses motion in mode 1, it will go 100% brightness. And it will stay like that until it doesn't sense any motion for 20 seconds, and then it will just turn off again. Okay, in mode 2, once it gets dark, it will light up 10%, and then once it notices motion, it will light up to 100% until it doesn't sense motion anymore, and then it will go back down to 10%. And it does that all night. And then once the sun comes out, it just shuts off. Okay, and then mode 3 is, it doesn't care if there's any motion at all. It just, as soon as it gets dark, it turns on to 30%, and it stays at 30% whether there's motion or not. And it just stays on at 30% all night. Okay, and with this solar panel and this size battery, in the daytime, it says that it will take up to 8 hours to charge the battery that's in this light from 0 to full. Okay, and now about the remote. In the documentation, I mean, like I said before, it's just a front and back little booklet, but this documentation does not talk about the remote at all. And so, again, this remote has on, off, mode 1, mode 2, and mode 3. But I guess the unit has to be on in order to use the remote. Right now it's set in the off position, and I can't get it. Let's just say I have, it's nighttime. I have the solar panel covered. It's nighttime. I'm going to use the remote to try to turn it on. And it's not doing anything. So I'm going to switch it to mode 1. And now it's on. So now it's on. So let's see what happens if I switch it. Well, let's see if I turn it off. Okay. See, now the remote works. And if I turn it back on, there we go. So the remote does work. Let's see if I can switch the modes. Mode 2. There we go. And if you move it, if it senses motion, then it turns on. Mode 3 should just be set at 30%. And let's go ahead and switch it back to mode 1. All right, and there we go. So the remote does work. So that's kind of nice. So that way you don't have to constantly get up on a ladder and adjust your modes or turn the light off and on. And let's see, let's turn it off. We're going to turn it off. And it looks like It looks like when you turn it off with the remote, when you turn it back on, it automatically sets itself back to mode 1. So it's set full brightness again. It's set at mode 1. So you have to hit mode 3 again in order to get it back to mode 3 or mode 2. Because here's mode 2, turn it off, turn it on, and it's back to mode 1. All right, so my plan is tonight I'm gonna go out and I'm going to demonstrate to you what I have out there currently, which is the Cenotone flood lamp. It's also solar powered. So I wanna say that the Cenotone light, it's about 1200 lumens, and that's about 181 LEDs on that flood lamp. This one from Zalap is it's 3000 lumens, so, and we have 333 LEDs on here. But this one runs for about $50 when that Cenotone runs for about $20. So in comparison, you know, you are getting the same amount of light for the amount of money that you're willing to spend. And on top of that, this one does have a remote. So, you know, that could be the extra $10 that you're spending, is to be able to remotely control this unit without having to get up and down from a ladder. Okay, so my plan is that tonight I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna demonstrate to you what the Cenotone one, how much light that gives me. And then tomorrow I will go ahead and take down the Cenotone, put this lamp up, and then tomorrow night we will be able to see how much light this Zalap flood lamp gives us. Here's a quick view of how bright my current floodlight is. As you can see, it lights up the solar panels pretty well, but it doesn't really go all the way across. It only brightens up really this main area right here. So these ones are pretty dark still, and then over there are pretty dark. Okay, well, I have the new camera all set and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and walk over to it and see how much more light that it produces. All right, Keith, let's go.
Okay.
All right. As you can tell, the light is a lot brighter. It doesn't really spread out as much as I want, even though I have the individual light panels facing the other directions. But all in all, it does produce a lot of light. Another thing I like about it, opposed to the other light that I had up here, is it would turn on the motion sensing. All right, it's so windy out here that the camera keeps falling over. But like I said before, the motion sensing on this light is a lot more sensitive, so it triggers on well before we actually get over to it. And it stays on the entire time we notice motion. We have it set on mode 1, which as soon as it doesn't notice motion for 20 seconds, it will turn off. All right, and now we are standing under the light, and you can see how much light it's actually producing.
Now you can finally see us.
Yep, now you can see us. Yes, the light does produce a lot more, but I was hoping it would actually spread the light out throughout the area, but it just doesn't spread the light out as much as I thought it would. When it comes to the installation was very easy. All I had to do was put that bracket on there, and then the light just slides right on that bracket. So it was very easy to install. You can definitely tell that this light is brighter, but it does cost twice as much as the light that was up here previously. And it does come with a little remote control, which from this distance works still pretty well. As you can tell, right there, off, on, easy, just like that. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about this light in general, please leave them in the comment section. Thank you so much, and have a great night. Bye-bye.
Subscribe and like, awesome. Ring that bell.